watchers, welcome to Perth Watch, your horology channel broadcasting from right here in Perth, Western Australia. Today I have a piece from Creux Automatiq. Now this is the second piece that I've reviewed from them. The first one was the Diamondback, that watch that I reviewed a while back. These are not really entry-level micro brands. They're going for something a little bit more expensive in terms of design and materials. So, you know, their pricing reflects that in what they are marketing towards. Now today I have a piece in this box. It comes in this rather solid and also large box. It makes it slightly difficult to handle with one hand, but here it is, you know, kind of hard plastic, and it's certainly, to start with, already imbuing us with some feeling of luxury. So guys, without further ado, let's flip the camera around and take a closer look at this watch. Alright guys, so here we got the box on the table. Kind of nice piano type plastic, but not in black, of course. It's in this kind of a light color. Let's check out how it spins. Surprisingly, there is some spin factor here, so that's probably at least a 3 out of 5. So Creux Automatiq, Swiss made, up the top there. Okay, so let's just get it open and show you what's in there. Okay, nice solid, you know, hinges there. Of course, this faux leather on the inside, and then Creux Automatiq up the top there. These are the instructions and whatnot under this, I guess, elastic bit. It's actually quite sticky in there, so I've left it outside to show it to you guys. Warranty card, okay, international warranty, Swiss made certificate, put that aside, and then a fairly simple manual, right, about the company, about the Ghost series. So this one's actually talking about the previous model, which is in stainless steel. This one isn't in stainless steel, this current model. Right, specs of the movement, picture of the watch. Again, that's the previous model, not this model. And a little bit about watch care and automatic watches and all that. What else do I have here? Pictures of the watches, and then it's about magnetism and kind of like little bit of a concepts around automatic watch. Okay, just put that aside now, and let's just get into this. There's a bit of a watch strap removal tool here, which I haven't used because there is nothing to change this into, so I haven't actually gone into the strap changing. Okay, let's just put that aside now and show the watch to you guys. So guys, here we have the Creux Automatiq Ghost version 3. So of course there were other versions previously. This is now the current one that they are marketing. Links to the website, of course, down the bottom for you to check out all the details if you wish to look at it. Now, so first up, as I usually do, let's just undo this bit and talk about the movement here. So the movement in here is Swisstech S24 SK8. So this is a skeletonized movement with small seconds, of course, that you can see there. I'm going to put the specs on the left of screen here, not really going to read all that out, but suffice to say that the quick set date in this case is implemented at the 6 o'clock window at the bottom that you can see on the watch. It does have hacking and manual winding. Rated accuracy, apparently on the Swisstech website, plus or minus 20 seconds per day. In this case, it does fall inside that range. That's slightly slow, minus 8 seconds per day. Okay, so that's really what I can say about this movement in terms of specs. Now, the actual decoration is rather striking, right? They have titanium and gunmetal colors here, as well as gold finishes. And then in terms of finishing of the surfaces, they have both brushed and sandblasted finishing for a rather striking appearance for the movement that you can see through the skeletonization that they've gone for here. Okay, so that's the movement. Let's talk about the case now. The case here is 45mm diameter. So between the base of the crown there to the other side of the case is 45mm in diameter. The bezel, of course, as you can see, is slightly smaller at about 44mm. It is actually in titanium that you can see there. The thickness is 13mm to the top of the crystal, and then it's got lugless design that you can see. All right, there's no visible lug here in terms of this bracelet or strap construction. So there's no lug width that I can comment here, but the lug to lug distance, if I kind of take the top surface of the watch here, is 50mm between my thumbs here. Overall weight on this rubber strap is 151 grams, and I think part of that is contributed to by that clasp, which is not a small thing. It's a very robust clasp there, not just a case that you're looking at in terms of metal. Finishing wise, right, fully micro sandblast finish is what they've gone for here, right? I just pan it around. Every single surface is sandblasted. There is not a single polished surface anywhere on this case here. Even the crown in gold tone has a bit of a matte finish. The bezel itself is kind of got that micro sandblast finish, or micro brill is what they've said that it has. It's got gold tone on the face screws as well. You can see there, of course. Okay, so display case back that you can see there, which is screw down. It's got some details around the side and it shows that movement. You know, I showed you macro shots of that earlier, but look at that. It really does catch the light and play on those finishing surfaces pretty well. So screw down display case back with a screw down crown, gold tone. They've gone for 100 meter water rating resistance here. All right, now let's go on to the dial, which is really where a lot of the action on this watch is. So what we have here is a multi-layered and a multi-finished skeleton dial here. So it's got the brand Creux Automatiq at the 12 o'clock position. It's got that gold tone date window and that arrow at the 9 o'clock position here. I think that's actually kind of printed on the sapphire crystal here, but everything else is below that in terms of a multi-layered construction. So it's got a gunmetal ring of bridges and indices as the next level down. It's got a printed 1/5 of a second chapter ring around the periphery. Hopefully this comes out quite clearly on the macro shots, which I'll share with you guys. And then below that is, of course, the movement. And I just want to show you one thing about the movement now here is the operation of the date wheel is pretty cool, I gotta say. Let's get it to the date position and just look at the date wheel and the date position at the bottom there. And as I change the date, you can see, you really can see the entire operation of the skeleton there. I really enjoy looking at that. That's a pretty cool, you know, feature and visibility of this skeleton movement that comes through in the implementation that they've gone here. I'm not sure that is unique to this Swisstech, because really, as I look at the movement, right, if you look at the movement there with the escapement, right, the balance wheel, it really looks identical in terms of position and gears to an ETA 2824, but obviously it's fully skeletonized, so some of it may be implemented differently from a 2824. If you know more details about the mechanisms, let me know, because I'm not sure myself here. Okay, in terms of the hands, we have polished, fairly uniquely shaped gunmetal hands there. It's got lume on the two hands and the 6 indice position that have the lume, right? Not every single hour position has an index, but there are roughly 6 positions that are lumed. And of course, I'll share a lume shot for you guys right here to see how it glows in the dark. Okay, so around the dial is a fixed position ceramic bezel. So it's black ceramic, but they've gone for a sandblast finish rather than polish, which is usually the case for ceramic bezels. So that's a nice different look. It's got, of course, those 6 gold tone phrase screws, which I pointed out before. And on top of the dial is a flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective treatment. Okay, moving on to the band. And the band is this gray FKM rubber is what they tell me it is. So FKM is I guess a higher grade rubber type of elastomer, which apparently is more expensive, and it does confer better heat and chemical resistance. I'm just going by what I read on the internet. I don't know this intimately myself, but share your knowledge about FKM rubber and its applications if you know better than me. And then moving on to the clasp then is this kind of titanium gunmetal color, which is, you know, really in a sandblast finish and very robust. You can see how robust this clasp is. Really, for a rubber strap, this is one of the more solid ones that I've seen. Okay, so let's just put it into position here and then snap it on the wrist shot. The wrist there for a wrist shot to share with you guys. And there we have it. This is the Creux Automatiq Ghost version 3 on my 17 centimeter wrist. Remember, the height of the watch is 50 millimeters there, 45 millimeter dimension and 30 millimeter tall. So it is certainly a large watch, but you kind of just get away with it despite my wrist not being so large.
Okay, so that's the shot. Now, what do I enjoy about this watch? What have I liked about this watch in the 2 weeks I've had it? I think this is a quality Swiss-made piece. I think there is no doubt of the quality that they've gone for here. It does have a relatively unique movement, a movement that may not appear in any other watch at this price range, at least, with detailed finishing. I like the the gunmetal, the titanium, different kind of surface finishes they've applied to the movement, and the overall execution is really nearly flawless. I think there's really nothing to complain about. They've really achieved what they set out to achieve. It's got unique design elements, so the case takes inspirations from sports cars, apparently, Lamborghini being one of the inspirations. So unique case design. The micro sandblast finish is pretty special. It's got that ghost dial, right? That ghost finishing dial that they've gone for, the floating effect, particularly the seconds hand, which is kind of printed on a clear disc. I forgot to point that out earlier. Yes, it is actually printed in backwards in this position here, or in this prototype, but they said that this is just a prototype. It will be corrected in production models. And then, they've also got this, fairly unique lugless design, lots of different elements, which is all of theirs. Yes, there is some inspiration from Hublot, I guess you can say, but, nothing that is exactly the same as any other watch. Really quite unique here. What are the concerns, the weaknesses? Well, I think the overall case size and design theme means that this does preclude broader use, right? You can't use this in formal situations. It's not the one that you use with a suit. And also it precludes broader appeal because not everybody will like a skeleton dial, even though this skeleton dial is one of the better ones I've seen. I think those Sega design ones I've reviewed before, I really liked it. Outside of that, this is probably the only skeleton dial watch that I've really found that I like. Usually I don't go for skeleton dial. And then I'll say the proprietary unique lugless design, of course, does mean that you can't swap out straps unless you buy it directly from the manufacturer. This is not something that you can put on the NATO, and some people will not like that. Lastly, the price. Now, I might have forgotten to say this at the start, 2,950 USD. That, I've got concerns about the success that this watch may make, and that does put it out of contention or consideration for many of my viewers, if I know you guys well enough. But, the earlier versions have sold out. This one is on pre-order, so they do seem to be meeting success, and I wish them all the best with marketing this. They do seem to be a successful company with the other models that they have gone through as well. So, obviously there is an audience that these are appealing to. All right, guys, so there we go. Those are my thoughts on the Ghost version 3. Let's flip this around for the wrap up now.
So there you go, guys, my review of the Creux Automatiq Ghost in version 3, remembering that they had earlier versions which have now sold out. I think there are obviously a lot of unique points about this watch, particularly with regards to the design and the use of that skeleton movement, which apparently no other watch has at this point in time. So they certainly do have some selling points, but of course one of the major concerns would be the price point, which I suspect for a lot of my usual viewers would put it out of contention. But let me know what you think, particularly if you have any experience with the company or you own one or more of their other models. We'd certainly like to hear your views. Guys, if you enjoy my videos, do consider subscribing. I put out new content every week, always aiming to be objective and unbiased about all things horology. Thank you again for sticking with me, and as always, I'll catch you guys again next time.